Welcome back in one of the Bears Probably Plays YouTube channel. Today is Wednesday, February 5th, and I'm back breaking down some more college basketball plays for the Wednesday night slate. 0-3 day on Monday night. Kansas. What I thought they are from the beginning of the season. Couldn't trust them in this game going up against Iowa State. Iowa State's now lost 3 consecutive games by double-digit points. This game ended whenever it was 31-19. And there was some sloppy basketball. I think even the announcer says this is some sloppy basketball. Loose ball on the ground, 31-19. Harris comes from basically half court, diving, gets the ball. He did travel on the play, on the ground. Nobody called it. He dishes it out, and there's a half court lob to KJ Adams. And from there, the game was over. It was 33-19. I think the score at half was 35-19, so they're down by 16 at the half. And I saw the stats. I was watching the game. Law of averages came into effect for me in my brain. I think Iowa State was shooting 22% from the field. Kansas was 50%. They were getting out-rebounded by Iowa State, and they were getting out. They had less turnovers in Kansas. So that's when the law of averages goes in my head. I'm like, oh, there's no way Iowa State loses by more than this. I took them 14.5 live, and I lost both. So never chase. Curtis Jones made 1-3, I think. Iowa State couldn't make a shot. It's as simple as that. They literally could not make a shot unless it was 2 feet from a basket, and then sometimes they didn't even make those. Rylan Griffin, I didn't see it come out. I'm going to take the loss anyway. Over 1.53 is what my guess was. He only hit 1 of 5 from deep in that game going up against Iowa State. Didn't see it out, didn't bet it, didn't lose any money on it, but I'm taking the loss because it was a bad night all the way around. All the way around because I thought Iowa State was going to be coming out swinging, and I thought Kansas was a dead dog. And now I don't know what to think about either of those teams. But let's move on to Wednesday. We got a couple really good matchups on Wednesday. 3 games to break down. A couple player props as well. Oregon going up against Michigan. I talked about this on the member side with Oregon. They were a top 25 team coming into a 3-game losing streak. And I don't know how they got to that top 25 team stature. They only beat Alabama this season as their one good win. That was pretty early in the season. They've lost to Illinois, Purdue, Minnesota, UCLA, Nebraska in 5 games in the month of January. So I don't know how they stayed a top 25 team for so long. I don't think Purdue's very good. Illinois is okay. But Minnesota, Nebraska, those teams are mid-tier. We're going to see what UCLA is made of tonight going up against Michigan State on Tuesday night. But I just don't think Oregon's that good of a team. I'm going to take Michigan against the spread. Probably going to be -5.5, -6.5. I'm going to take them here. They're going to be at home. I think Michigan on the season has been a lot better than Oregon. Even though Michigan's not ranked in the top 25 right now, they are coming off back-to-back wins going up against Penn State and Rutgers. They're probably going to be ranked in the top 25 after tonight, probably at least top 20 to 25, somewhere around there. But the only loss they had was Purdue over the last 4 days. That was whenever Purdue couldn't miss a shot, and I took Michigan. And, of course, Purdue could not miss a shot in that game. Then they took a bad loss to Minnesota in overtime. But other than that, this Michigan team's been pretty good all season long. I do think they protect home court here. I'm going to take Michigan against the spread as the first play of the day. Second play of the day, we're going to be looking at Missouri going up against Tennessee. Missouri has been the shocker this season. Missouri has several really good wins on the season. They beat Kansas whenever Kansas was number 1 in the country. They're coming off back-to-back wins going up against top 15 teams, Ole Miss and Mississippi State. Mississippi State on the road in their last game on Saturday destroyed them. 25 points they beat them by. That was a number 14 team in the country, Mississippi State, on the road for Missouri. That was a very, very good win for them. They're going to be on the road here against Tennessee. I can't do it. I can't do it with Missouri. If Tennessee's in single digits in this game, I'm going to lay the points against the spread. This Missouri team, they've been good, but I've also seen this Missouri team be bad. That game against Texas, that was some of the worst basketball I've seen from both sides. Like, Missouri was horrible. Texas was bad, but they weren't as bad as Missouri. Texas ended up winning that game, but I've seen Missouri at their worst. This feels like a game they're going to be at their worst. This is going to be a defensive battle, I think, and Tennessee always wins defensive battles. I'm going to take him in this game against the spread at home. I think Ziegler is going to be back as well for Tennessee. So give me the Volunteers there against the spread as the play for the final game pick of the day. Arkansas going up against Texas. Arkansas obviously coming off that big win for Coach Cal, beating Kentucky at Kentucky. Huge win for them. Everybody played well in that game. I'm not buying it. I'm just not going to buy it. I think Arkansas is a decent team. They have lost 6 of the last 8 games, though, and Texas has been kind of rolling, especially at home this season. They've won 3 of the last 4 games. They beat Missouri, Texas A&M lost to Ole Miss, so they have 2 top 25 wins in the last 3 games, coming off another good win against LSU, beating them by 30-plus points. Texas at home rarely loses. They have 1 loss against Tennessee. They lost that game by 4 points. Another loss to Auburn. They lost that game by 5 points. So the number 1 team in the country and the number 2 team in the country at the time, they lost by 5 points or less at home. They're just playing good basketball at home. So I like them in this game. I promised myself and to the viewers I would just hop off of Trey Johnson for a while over his total points. I wanted to take him today, but I'm not going to. He has been amazing at home for Texas this season, multiple 20-plus point games. So if you want an extra player, prop Trey Johnson over his total points. I told myself I wasn't going to do it because every time I take him, he screws me. But I think this Texas team rolls against Arkansas. I think they beat him pretty easily. I'm going to take him against the spread as the play. Let's go to the player props for tomorrow. Some familiar faces. Chaz Lanier, we're going to go over his total points going up against Missouri. Missouri this season, they are a high-scoring team. Don't think that's going to happen this game against Tennessee. I do think we're going to see Chaz Lanier go off once again. At home this season, Chaz Lanier is a completely different person. He's kind of like Trey Johnson in a way. He shoots 15.5 times per game at home. He shoots 42.9% from the field, 42% from deep, and he's scoring 19 points per game compared to 15 points per game on the road. This is a guy at home who does not miss typically from deep. We have seen him against multiple top 25 teams this season score 18-plus points. I think that's where the number's going to be tonight. He scored 19 against Florida. He scored Mississippi State. He scored 23 points against Georgia. He only scored 5 points, but he had a really good game against Arkansas where he scored 29 points. So he scored 20-plus points in 3 of the last 4 games at home. I think he does it once again in this game going up against Missouri. A big reason why Tennessee will potentially blow out Missouri in this game at home. Give me Chaz Lanier over his total points as the first play for the second play tonight. It's another familiar face, DJ Wagner, former Kentucky guard, now Arkansas guard, playing for Coach Cal. Going to take his over 3.5 assists, maybe is my guess. He only has 3 on the season, but if you watch that Kentucky game, especially in the first half, he had 6 assists. He only shot, I think, 3 times from the field in the first half. Every single play, every single possession, it was DJ Wagner walking up the ball, DJ Wagner finding a cutting man or finding somebody on the outside and then knocking down a shot. So I'm going to go off of what I just saw against Kentucky. We also saw him have 5 assists against Oklahoma. He's now had back-to-back games with 5-plus assists. If the book doesn't make an adjustment, this is the new Boogie Fland. He runs the offense. I'm going to take him over his total assists. 2.5, 3.5, 4.5. Somewhere around there is my guess. Coming off that 8-assist game against Kentucky, he just seems like he's in control of the offense. And they were calling plays. Coach Cal was calling every single play, every single possession. They were slowing it down going up against Kentucky. I think DJ Wagner does that once again going up against Texas. Should be a good game, but at the end of the day, Texas, they're going to dominate, I think, in the second half and just pull away. But I like DJ Wagner in this game to make it interesting, especially with his passing. I think he's going to go over the 3.5 assists as the final play of the day. Let's go take a look at that recap graphic. We are going to be taking Michigan against the spread. Guess is 5.5, 6.5, somewhere around there. Tennessee against the spread again, 5.5, 6.5, somewhere around there. Texas, this one could be interesting, but with the way they've been playing at home this season, probably 4.5, somewhere around there. But maybe even more. We'll see what happens on these spreads. I don't think any of them will be in the double digits, though. The only one I can think of might be double digits is the Tennessee game, but I highly doubt it is. We're going to go Chaz Lanier over 18.5 points going up against Missouri, and then DJ Wagner over 3.5 assists is my guess and what I hope it is, because I think he goes way over that going up against Texas. That's the final play of the day. Guys, it's going to do it for the NCAA basketball picks and props for Wednesday, February 5th slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure to drop a like this video and subscribe channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.